Right, so here's question 17. Right, so the first question is asking you just how. Okay, so this is important. It's asking you, and that's important as well. So it's asking you how does the value in this variable product cost, how's it stored? So we look at it, and that tells you the data type. Okay, so the data type's real. We sometimes know it as being single. Okay, now that's the data type, but actually how do they store numbers that maybe have decimal points in it? You might have seen this in physics. Okay, and that's your exponent. And that's something called your mantissa. So you can actually, using this method, store very large numbers just as a mantissa exponent. And this is what they use actually to store numbers, not just large numbers, but numbers with decimal points. So they would actually store it using the mantissa. And exponent. That's for your 2 marks. Okay, so always make sure you have a wee look to see where the 2 marks are. Right. Next question is, the program is tested but it stops after a few lines. An error is highlighted. Name this type of error, or sorry, name this type of translator, as it were. Right. So it's called an interpreter. This is the type of translator you'd use to actually develop the code, develop the program, because it's good for error checking. It runs one line at a time and then translates it. So it translates one line at a time, I should say, and then runs it. If there's no error, I'll move into the next one. Obviously, it's a very slow process compared to the alternative, which is a compiler. Okay, and that's where they're asking you next. Okay, so it's slow process. And every time you're actually running a program using an interpreter, that interpreter has to run within the memory. Okay, so slow process, you could also say additional RAM is required. Needed is the translator is always required to run. Okay, so the next one is, when all the errors are removed, the completed program is translated. Section of the code is shown below. State the type of programming language we know that is, so you can call it binary if you want, which is, right? Sometimes you see the term machine code. Both would get you your answer. You then look at question D, talking about the following part of the program is executed. Name the part of the computer system that carries out each of the following tasks during the execution of the code. Carries the location of the memory. Okay, so the location is your address, so it's your address bus that does that. Transfers the value of the product cost from the main memory to the processor, so that's the data. Okay, so that contains the address of the memory location, and the data bus contains the data that will be written to that address. That's your data bus, and it performs the VAT calculation. So if you look up here, wee calculation in the VAT. So what we've got here is we've got the ALU. That's your arithmetic logic unit. So that's your ALU. Right, so the program is then backed up an external hard drive, which is connected to the computer using an interface, and then it's just asking you describe two purposes of the interface. Right, so it can temporarily store data. Other ones as well. You could say voltage conversion, right? Because you can actually get ones that get powered off your USB drive, so it's running at a different voltage than your computer. So we've got voltage conversion, but there's quite a few different purposes of an interface. Okay, so you got temporary storage of data, voltage conversion. You could have handling a status signals. So if it loses connection or if the hard drive's full, it'll tell. And even the communication between the two devices. So the computer will tell the hard drive that's ready to send the data. Okay, and yep, that's the end of that question.